Okay, so don't mind my hair mess. We are at the hotel. We actually just got back from Animal Kingdom. So we spent the day there and we are going to be headed to Epcot next. But a lot of people have been inboxing me and asking me tons of questions about just like what I do to be able to travel full time and how like a little bit about my story. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Like I said, don't mind my hair. I was wearing a hat all day. Wearing my Mickey shirt. You see Brett in the background, maybe in the hotel.
Hello.
Oh yeah, I don't think you can see, but he's over there in the corner. So a little bit about me. So I actually, 6 years ago, I was a full-time employee. I was working at Campbell's Soup. Like I'm sure you have some Campbell's Soup in your cabinet or you have at one point in your life. And I was working there in marketing analytics and I was moving up the corporate ladder. I was just trying to do that next best thing for me. Like whatever the status quo was for me was to go to school, then keep going to school, then get a good paying job, then move up the corporate ladder. So at that moment, it was January 2017, I was working there for a little while. I was getting my master's degree. I was finishing up my master's degree program actually that semester. And then from there, my idea was to just keep rising up the corporate ladder. And I was always such a big traveler. Like I studied abroad when I was in college and I fell in love with like the ability to be able to travel then. And I knew that I always wanted to make traveling like a part of something that I do all the time, right? I had no idea at that moment that it could be a full-time thing. I just thought, hey, if I could take 5 vacations a year where I'm able to have that money not have to go on a credit card, right? Like I honestly, I was just talking to my friend about this the other day, that when I got out of college, my bachelor's program, my first paying job out of my bachelor's program, which I had a lot of money in student loan debt at that time. I had probably like $75,000 in student loan debt at that time. My first job out of college was, oh, now I can see you. Hey. My first job out of college was like a $40,000 a year job. Like actually I think it was like $37,000 a year. I was working at Lockheed Martin and I was like just so grateful to get a job after college. And I graduated with a finance degree. And I just always remember having to have a credit card to like pay for those extra things because I didn't have like the money coming in, right, from like my career because I was only making $37,000 a year at that time. So I kept moving up, switched companies, got a higher paycheck. And then even at the point where I like almost tripled that income with my last job in the corporate 9-to-5 world, I still had things that I was paying on my credit card waiting for my next paycheck. And I think a lot to do with that with, of course, my master's program that piled up even more. But not just that, a lot to do with it was just always having the frame of mind of living paycheck to paycheck and just having bills, inflation, right? Gas, groceries. I finally was like living on my own, had my own house. So I had to put money like on the table, things for that, expenses. When I first started in my first year of this business, I had like my basement flooding in my new home that I bought all the time. And that was just like a huge expense to get that waterproof. So like no matter what your income is, right, at your full-time job or whatever you're doing, I'm sure there's always going to be those expenses and those things that come up that are unexpected that kind of like make you either set you back if you're not prepared or set you back in a way that you're living paycheck to paycheck and using a credit card and waiting for the next paycheck. So I was sick of that lifestyle and I saw a girl on social media. I literally saw my friend. She's now my friend, but she wasn't my friend at the time. I actually just met her on social media. She added me on Facebook and I saw her posting and living in Florida with her dogs on the beach, being able to make an income from her phone. And I didn't even really know what she did. I just saw her always like living her best life. She just went to Thailand and like there was all these things. I was like, wait, she travels full time? Like, what does she do? So I inquired when I saw her post about a cleanse and I was like, oh, I want to do a cleanse. It was the new year, right? It was January 2017. So I inquired about that and then ended up having a conversation with her about this business opportunity. And I had all of the same reservations that maybe you would have, right? I don't have enough of a big enough network. I don't want to bug my friends and family. I don't have experience. I tried businesses like network marketing in the past and I failed. What else? I don't have enough time. I was working full time. I was getting my master's degree. Like I had every excuse in the book to not be successful But the biggest thing that pushed me forward to saying yes is I didn't want my life to be the way it was at that moment anymore. And up until that point, throughout my 20s, honestly, in my career after college and going through my master's program, I was still in a job where I felt like I was still living paycheck to paycheck, and I needed a side gig or some way to have extra money to live the lifestyle that I wanted, which was to be able to pay my bills, but then also have money to take those vacations 5 times a year. So that's why I said, you know what, if this is something you can do on social media, and I have my phone with me anyway, right? If you're watching this, you have your phone with you, I'm sure anyway, that why not be making it a lucrative style income something that you're using anyway. So if I'm on Facebook anyway, why am I not making an income from it? So that was my mindset to say, let me just give it a shot. I'm going to see if I can fit this into my schedule. And I honestly now know, 6 years later in this business, that the busiest people are always the best people at this business because they can prioritize their time. I heard this saying one time about how if your husband or your significant other said, hey, let's go out to dinner tonight, right? And they're like, 15 minutes to get ready. You're gonna go run, get ready, get a shower, put some makeup on, like be ready to go. And he said, the same person says, an hour to get ready. You're probably at the end of 15 minutes or at the end of your hour gonna look the same exact way of getting ready, but you just needed a smaller compartment and you prioritized your time because you knew you only had that amount of allotted time, right? So when you have a business on social media, if you work full-time, if you go to school full-time, if you're a stay-at-home parent, like I'm sure your schedule is very busy right now. If you're watching this, I am positive like your schedule is busy. First of all, let me thank you for taking the split second to listen to me talk to you because I know time's valuable. Time is super valuable. We're at Disney right now, and the lines for some of the rides this morning, like Avatar was 155 minutes when we were waiting in line, and we actually bought this Lightning Lane pass that was like $30, $15 each or whatever, right? Like 20, whatever. And we were able to get right to the front of the line. And I said to Brett, I was like, this is why time's so valuable. Like I would pay $30 to get to the front of the line and not have to waste 2 hours in line waiting for a ride, right? So for you to make time to learn more about this business opportunity, or even just to listen to me, I know how valuable that time is. So thank you so much. And you as a busy person, if you want to be able to make an extra income from social media and you're thinking, I just have no time at all to do this, you 100% do. It's just prioritizing those time frames that you do have and then doing it effectively. You can do 2 things at once, like listen to a podcast, watch your Netflix episode on TV, and then also work from your phone and make some extra income. Whether you want it to be a part-time income like I did at first, I wanted that dog food, date night, grocery money, or a full-time income like it became for me once I realized that I actually felt so fulfilled from helping people, right? In this business, I literally get to connect people with the best health and wellness products out there. They're clinically proven, backed by science. The labels, once you read the ingredients on the labels, you're gonna be like 100% you'll stand behind these labels too. Everything you can pronounce, that's a huge thing for me. And they're clinically proven to work and be effective. A million things that are so incredible about this company, about this culture, but the products and just the opportunity of the business to be able to make an income from anywhere is the number one selling point. So for me to be able to like offer that to you or to offer that to anyone who's on social media, who's watching me, who's following me, just because I was offered that 6 years ago and now this is my full-time income, is the most incredible thing that I could ever imagine. So that's why I became so fulfilled with this business and that passion grew. And that didn't happen like in my first day, right? Because I was still learning. And the really cool thing about this is you don't have to know everything. You have help and support and training, and like there's just so much help. So you're never going to be alone. Oh, I'm not good at sales. That's okay. I promise you're going to learn all of these skills through our coaching, through this training to be successful. You don't have to bug your friends and family. You don't have to have a big network. You don't have to have time. Like these are all excuses we try to tell ourselves to when we compare to other people. Like you see me online traveling in Disney right now, going to Punta Cana tomorrow, and you are like, okay, wow, that's nice for her, but I can't do that stuff, right? A lot of times we compare and we think of all the reasons why we can't have something. Instead, think to like all the things that you could have if this works out for you, right? If you were able to make an extra income, if you were able to clear up your schedule in a way that you had extra time, like what would it look like for you? What would your life look like in a year from now, and 5 years from now, and 10 years from now, because of one yes to having your own business from your phone? So when I saw Melissa, right, living her best life, that was my enroller, living her best life in Florida, instead of me saying, wow, that's nice for her, I'm stuck behind a desk right now, like dreading like my work tomorrow, or Sunday night comes around, I'm dreading going to work the next day. Instead of that, I said, wow, she's went to Thailand, she's working at home with her dog, she's on the beach, that's cool, I want to try. Right? Like, why not give it a shot? Because what do you have to lose at that point? The only thing that's gonna, the main thing that will change is your life, right? Because if you don't do anything at all, your life's just gonna stay the same that it is, right? So it doesn't have to be quit your job, work full-time, and travel full-time. I mean, a lot of people message me, ask me, do I have to travel full-time in order to do what you do? No, that's just something that I'm able to do because of the opportunity. So if with a business opportunity that you're helping people and you're also gonna be helping yourself and your family, what would that extra income be for you? The extra $500 a month, that extra $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month. The sky is honestly the limit because you're writing your own paycheck. It's your own work ethic. It's not someone coming and checking in on you and saying, hey, did you clock in today? Did you do this? You don't have a boss. You have a coach, you have guides, you have mentors, you have me, right? Like you have the team, but you are in this for yourself and you're able to work this around your own schedule and build it to whatever you want it to be. Whether it's that couple extra $100 to pay your student loans every month, or whether it's the thousands of dollars to completely change your life and give you the freedom to create your schedule every day. And that is truly the beauty of this business, that it is a one size fits all. Because I don't care what your schedule looks like or what your lifestyle looks like or what all these doubts that you're telling yourself in your head. If you can for 1 second push the doubt to the side and focus more on the faith that you're going to be successful and know that you have support to pick you up when you fall down, you are 100% going to be able to change your life. And nothing's going to be the same as it is up until this point. So on that same note, if you're interested in learning more about the business opportunity, if you're interested in learning more about working remotely, whether a part-time income or a full-time income, message me the word income. Also, I can send you a video that I did more in depth of like explaining more about the company and more about the products. If you really are into the details or the ingredients or the labels or stuff like that, just let me know. Let me know what the income could help you with, because that is something that's going to be your why and your reason to keep going. Because when you have your own business, it's up to you, right? It's up to you to show up for it and work it and learn new things every day and just be like excited about it in a way that you're going to be successful. If you don't have a strong reason what you want for your future, that you don't, maybe you don't even know, maybe no one's asked you up until this point, like what dreams do you want to accomplish, right? Because I know in my jobs before this, no one ever asked me that. So I'm giving you permission right now to dream, to start thinking about what you could do with extra money and working remotely on your phone. What you could do when you start helping people with these products and you feel so good. Like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, where do you see yourself in the next couple years from now? Start thinking about that. Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to go to Disney? Do you want to travel more? Do you want to pay off credit card debt? Do you want to retire your spouse because he's been working or she's been working very long hours and you just don't want them to suffer like trying to just put groceries on the table with all those extra jobs they picked up? Whatever that looks like for you, start dreaming about it right now. And that is the reason why you're going to show up and consistently build a business on social media. And even if you hear people say no, or if you hear there's some mean people on the internet, which there might be some mean people commenting on this in a second, but that's okay. I just block out the mean people. I delete them from my feed. I don't need them there. So same for you. When you have situations like that, when you're connecting close to your why and the reason why you got started and what you're working towards, you block out the negativity and you focus more on the positive energy and the uplifting people that you want in your life. And the really cool thing about this business, not only the income's there and the products are there, but you have the community there that is going to actually cheer you on towards these goals. And that's so special because I have never been in any company, any industry, anything that has really pushed me to a point where they want me to be successful and they want to cheer me on along the way and celebrate my wins along the way. That is the most fulfilling feeling, when you have people in your corner that are actually supporting you and wanting you to do well instead of people just around you that want you to fail. So you getting that is just a huge perk of having your own business, especially with It Works, especially with this company, especially being on this team. So when I started this 6 years ago, that was my side gig for a while. It became a full-time income. My income actually tripled my Campbell's income 2 years into my business. And at that point, I ended up getting laid off, which it was unfortunate. There was a lot of layoffs that year. But I was laid off before, and I knew that I never wanted to be in a situation where I felt depressed and like sad and like just like I was laid off in 2015 for like 6 months, and I didn't do anything besides go out and sleep till like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't want to feel that way anymore. So when I was laid off from my corporate job, I had this as my plan B, right? I never even thought of it like becoming my full-time income. It was just something that I loved to do on the side. It was my thing that I just wanted to do on my off work hours, right? But it already was bringing me 5 figures a month at that point. So it was more than my income at my full-time job. When I got laid off, I said, hey, do I want to be at a 9-to-5 job the rest of my life? I was told up until the point that's how you're going to be successful. It's a job where you're working for a big company, right? Moving up the corporate ladder. And in that moment, I decided to have my own realization of what I really wanted for myself and not what everyone else in my life wanted for me. And I said, I'm just going to do this business full time, and this is what I'm passionate about. That was 3 years ago, over 3 years ago now, that I made that decision. And since then, my income just has grown and grown and grown and grown. And not just that, but I've helped so many other people do the same exact thing. And that is where passion can turn into a wildfire, because it's surrounded by not just you, but other people who are really, really inspired to do big things with their life. And then you guys together, like you with our team and with me together, dreaming and growing and making an income on social media and changing lives, that wildfire will spread to so many people and change so many lives. And there's billions of people in the world. So using social media as a tool to be able to connect with people all over the world is incredible. I can meet the most amazing people through social media, right? So I actually have a lot of friends that I met from this business. I was just in one of my friend Danielle's wedding that I met her from Facebook. Like, this is just such a crazy way to build a business on social media, but it's 2022 and I wouldn't want to have it any other way, because now I'm looking out the window at Disney World, and tomorrow we're going to Punta Cana with the company. It's actually a trip that our company incentivized us to earn. So you have so many different resources and so many different incentives to want to keep dreaming and then keep going. And that's what I really honestly enjoy about this business, and I enjoy about being able to talk to you right now on this video, because this could absolutely change your life, and I hope it came at the right time, and I hope you're watching this at the right time. So if you're interested in more details about this at all, message me the word income. I hope you're having a beautiful day. If you have any questions at all towards anything that I just covered, drop it in the comments or message me personally, because I know a lot of people like to talk about their own goals and their own stories one-on-one, but share with me in an inbox message what the extra income could help you with, and then we can talk more